How's everybody doing? I told the team that put this event together that I wanted a crowd. This is a little bigger than I had in mind, so that's awesome. So thank you all for coming. It's a beautiful morning, the sun is shining, and I tell people on the mainland that I live on a tropical island. I don't know how many believe me, but it's a beautiful day out there, a little chilly. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honourable Tom Marshall, Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Wow. Well, good morning. Usually when there's a crowd in this lobby, Premier resigns. Give me a couple of more months, please. I'll be back. I want to thank you all for joining Minister Kent and me here today. John F. Kennedy, who was a hero of mine, and I'm sure many of you, always used to make the comment that governments can do better. And I agree. And he said, government, it's not only asking what governments can do for you, but what people can also do for their government. So we are very committed to involving the people of this province in a much more meaningful way in shaping the future of how we undertake governance in Newfoundland and Labrador. That's why I'm pleased to be here with Steve and to announce today, Steve is Minister responsible for the Office of Public Engagement, of what will be the first phase of an open government initiative. Now, open government is an internationally recognized approach to organizational thinking, which acknowledges the critical role of our citizens for effective and sustainable governance. It's consistent with the direction that I think most progressive governments are taking today. Governments around the world are placing more emphasis on increasing the importance of openness and citizen involvement. 63 countries, including Canada, have signed on to the Open Government Partnership. And they're working together with their citizens to develop and implement ambitious open government actions. Now, currently, there are 4 provinces in the country, and there are various municipalities, including Edmonton, Toronto, and Vancouver, that have adopted variations of open government initiatives. The government of Newfoundland and Labrador is listening, and I said when I was sworn in as Premier that we would listen even more. And we want to provide the people of the province with new opportunities to be more informed and have a more say in shaping our policies and our programs and our services and indeed the entire decision-making of government. And that's why we're implementing the Open Government Initiative today. Open government uses new and innovative approaches, activities, and strategies to better connect people with their government and vice versa. It involves the increased disclosure of information to people who seek it from government, but beyond that, it proactively shares knowledge, even if people haven't requested. Government will get more and more information out there, so people will have access to that information and help them become better informed. And then if we have more dialogue and more collaboration through public engagement, this will lead to a public that's more informed and engaged, which will in turn lead to better government decisions, which in turn will lead to better government policies and programs and services for our people, and provide the people, enable them to have better oversight over their government. Now, I understand that open government initially focused on just information and data sharing, but now it also includes new and innovative public engagement, collaborative activities that will ultimately inform decision-making. More public engagement and broader participation from citizens and a diverse array of stakeholders is necessary to meet today's expectations of our people for a more responsive, a more resourceful, a more efficient and transparent and accountable government. And that's the type of government that we want to be. Now, we've always been a government that works very hard for its citizens. We know who our employers are, and we work hard and we're conscious of that, and we take our responsibilities very, very seriously. But we also know how important it is to you that we also be a government that not only works for, but works with our citizens. Today's launch of the Open Government Initiative means that we very much want and value your input. And this is not doing it in an ad hoc manner. This is about putting in place a systematic process that ensures that government hears from its citizens and gets their input, and through that, their oversight. So the initiative will promote new actions throughout government, throughout all government departments, which will result in increased access to information and data, new approaches to engaging people on key decisions, and strengthened collaboration with stakeholders. In the first phase, and Steve will tell you more about this, we'll be enhancing our web resources to better share information and knowledge. We'll build deeper and more meaningful collaboration with organizations and stakeholders. And we will launch a comprehensive public engagement process so that Newfoundlanders and Labradorians can help create an open government that works better with them and for them. So what we're doing this morning is introducing the beginning of the process. And through this engagement, through the first public engagement process, we're going to ask people, how do you want us to communicate with you? How do you want us to get information to you? And how can you best get your input back to us? So we'll go through a process to accomplish that, and that will result at the end of phase one in our first Open Government Action Plan. So we're asking the people to tell us what information they like, how you'd like us to communicate it, and how best to get your input. And these ideas, as I said, will shape our action plan for information sharing, collaboration, and consultation in the future. Well, continuing ongoing dialogue and consultation will be a key part of the initiative. The people of the province have a lot to offer. Through the process, we want to tap into your knowledge and expertise and your ideas to help us do what we all want to do, to make this province a better place for us all. So over the course of the next few months, we'll be consulting. There will be comprehensive public engagement, both online and in person. And I really hope that you will all participate. So with that, I'll now turn it over to Steve, who will tell you more information and how we're going to get there from here. Steve, thank you.
Thank you, Premier, and thank you for not resigning. We appreciate that. We're very happy to have you with us. As Premier Marshall mentioned, the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador deeply values its relationship with the people of this province. This morning's announcement of our Open Government Initiative marks a new approach in the way we will connect, engage, and collaborate with our citizens and stakeholders. As you know, we have made several major announcements over the last few days that relate to the theme of openness and which demonstrate our commitment to it. Now, we want to go further. However, like other governments, we too struggle with the question, how can we make our government more open? We need your help to answer that question. Although we regularly release information and data, consult with and engage citizens, and build partnerships with other organizations, we want and need to do more. This is why we are embarking on an Open Government Initiative. Through this initiative, we will strive to change the way we do business, to accelerate the release of information and data without requiring a formal request, to better engage citizens in the issues that concern them at the right times, for the right reasons, and in a meaningful way, to better build partnerships with our stakeholders, to go beyond the status quo, and to be open by default. This is what we hope to accomplish through the Open Government Initiative. By creating and implementing innovative initiatives and activities that promote increased sharing of information and data with the people of our province. Implementing new ways for the public to provide input on issues that matter to them. Collaborating and strengthening partnerships so that together we can find better solutions to challenges that we face in our province. In fact, we've already initiated early actions in some of these areas. For example, we've developed a public engagement guide to help us build capacity within government and we are developing guidelines to assist departments with proactive disclosure of information. Through these measures, we are striving to change the very essence of how we operate as a government in Newfoundland and Labrador. We believe that this new way of doing business will result in improved policies, programs, and services, and a better and stronger government, and a better and stronger democracy overall. Governments around the world are adapting open government approaches and strategies. Many are developing open government action plans. As part of this open government initiative, we will develop an action plan, one that will be developed with the citizens of this province. So our task together is to build an action plan that clearly lays out what we will do. This plan, as well as the policies, programs, and services that result from it, will be stronger as a result. Decisions resulting from it will also be more sustainable. And by sustainable decisions, I mean decisions that will not easily unravel or become contested like top-down decisions often do. More practically, we also know that governments that have tried to build open government action plans without adequate engagement of citizens and stakeholders have generally ended up in hot water. For such reasons, our action plan will be developed on a foundation of effective public engagement. Through our planned public engagement process, we will co-create an action plan that helps build a more collaborative, engaging, accountable, and transparent government. As I've mentioned, the people of Newfoundland and Labrador have a critical role to play in informing this initiative. So now, before we go any further, I would like to get you to quickly respond to a few statements regarding open government. Now, I'm going to explain the technology mainly for the benefit of Minister O'Brien. He came in and sat down and he said, "Kent, what am I supposed to do with this clicker box? Is it like a Twitter box?" And I explained to him that it's a little different than that. It's a voting keypad. If you wish to call it a clicker box, you can. And this is just one of the many tools that we'll be using in our public engagement sessions related to this initiative. There are many other tools in the toolbox that you'll see in the weeks and months ahead. So I'm going to put a statement up on the screen here, and I'm going to ask you to respond. It's very simple to use. Just press the number or letter on your keypad that corresponds to the answer on your screen that you wish to choose. If you make a mistake or change your mind, simply push the button you actually wish to use, and the keypad is going to record your last entry only. So let's start by getting a sense of who's in the room with us today. All responses are completely anonymous. Question number 1. The sector group I most represent here today, or feel closest to, is number 1, academia, number 2, business or industry, number 3, community or nonprofit, number 4, elected official. That's you, O'Brien. Number 5, journalism. Number 6, public service. Or number 7, other. And if you choose number 7, other, we have comment cards on your seat as well. Please feel free to rate the sector or group you most represent today on your comment card. I hope you've all clicked. All right. So it's no surprise, given we're in the lobby of East Block, that most people here today, almost the majority of the people here today, work with the public service, and we have a fair number of elected officials here today as well. So thanks to all of you for joining us, and great to see a strong turnout. Let's move on to the next statement. They didn't click. I'll speak with the journalists afterwards in back. Let's move on to the next statement. Question number 2. I want my government to be more open. Yes, no, or unsure. Of course, the vast majority of people, I'm surprised not all people want government to be more open. I want government to be more open. I want all governments to be more open. And that's what the Open Government Initiative is all about. So thank you for your input. There's a few more questions to follow. This is just an example of how we can use technology in a large room to quickly gather responses from citizens. We'll have a few more statements for you in a few moments. So now let me outline for you the 4 pillars that represent Newfoundland and Labrador's Open Government Initiative. They are open information, open data, dialogue, and collaboration. I'd like to take this opportunity to quickly speak with you about each of these pillars. As you can see, in a moment, there we go, open information refers to the release of government information to the public. Currently, this includes information such as awarded tenders, orders in council, department responses to general access to information requests, travel expenses of ministers, and other information disclosed by government. So this page will be updated on a regular basis based on your input about the types of information that matter to you. Ultimately, we will make more information available to residents, to businesses, and to others, improve the organization of this information, and make it easier for you to access. Open data. Open data is about releasing data in accessible formats for use and reuse by anyone. The work undertaken in this area will likely be of great interest to researchers, to academics, to entrepreneurs, to businesses, and we hope it will stimulate innovation, the creation of new business and technology opportunities, and open up research to much wider audiences. And we hope, and we're confident, that our technology sector will work closely with us as we grow this open data portal. Open data presents an exciting new opportunity for us, and it builds on the work we have done previously, such as community accounts, which has earned us international recognition for our efforts. We are now taking things one step further and opening up government-held data by making it available in formats that can be easily accessed and used in various programs or applications. This data will be free of charge for all to use. We've also developed an open government license to guide the use of this data, which is now available online on our open data portal as well. It's important to note that the open data we will release and have already released, it will be reviewed and assessed for quality assurance and for privacy protection prior to its release. This page currently contains samples of data sets, including population statistics, new motor vehicle sales statistics, hospital utilization rates, and crime statistics. So this is just a start. We want to build on this, and during our consultation process and beyond, we want to hear from you about the types of data that you're interested in. The next pillar is dialogue. And dialogue refers to a range of participation or engagement activities that can help residents in the province contribute their ideas, their insights, and their expertise to the policy and decision-making processes of government. This can involve a wide array of activities that may include in-person forums, formal consultations, meetings with stakeholders or community groups, workshops, as well as online and social media activities. Through the public engagement process we are launching here today, we will create opportunities for meaningful conversations with citizens throughout Newfoundland and Labrador. We will consider all ideas and suggestions about how to make the government of Newfoundland and Labrador more open. On the basis of this input, we will create a draft action plan that will be publicly available for further input. Also, our open government web pages will be regularly updated with news, engagement activities, and the input received. The final pillar is collaboration. And collaboration is about working together to find solutions to challenges. We have a history of strong partnerships with other governments, with business, and with labor organizations, and of course with the community sector. These partnerships offer unique opportunities to address complex issues. We want to build on these successes and create new collaborative relationships where we can work together more effectively to realize even greater benefits for all. This morning's announcement is an important first step. So, now that you have more information about this initiative, I would like to get your input on how we can best move forward. So get out your keypads once again, please. For this next statement, I would like you to rank the following 4 open government themes, or pillars, in terms of how interested you are in each. So they're listed in alphabetical order, and please rank them 1 to 4, with 1 being your highest level of interest, and 4 being your lowest level of interest. Question 3, the area of most interest to me, again, rank 1 as the highest, 4 as the lowest. A, collaboration, improving ways in which the government partners or networks with outside organizations, for instance, nonprofit, business, labor, or academia. B, data, improving the quality and or quantity of data made available to the public. C, dialogue, improving the quality and or quantity of ways in which government involves citizens and stakeholders in policy or program decisions. And D, information, improving the quality and or quantity of information made available to the public. Those are our 4 pillars. Please rank them. And there are no wrong answers. Interesting. So a pretty even split. And I think that the response to this question would really vary based on the composition of the room. We have a fair number of people here from the public sector and elected officials, and yet it's still pretty evenly split among the 4 pillars. All right, question number 4. I have practical ideas about how to make government more open. Number 1 is strongly agree, 2 is agree, 3 is neutral, 4 is disagree, 5 is strongly disagree. And most people strongly agree or agree that they have practical ideas on how to make government more open. And we want and need those ideas. What we're embarking on today is a process over the next number of months where we will be continuously seeking the input of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians as we build our draft Open Government Action Plan. This question represents a key theme of our upcoming process to engage you in helping to design our Open Government Action Plan. We will be asking for your best and most practical ideas about how we can become a world leader in open government. With that in mind, if you have an idea that you would like to share with us today, please feel free to write it on the comment cards provided and place it in either of the boxes that are on the tables at the back of the room before you leave. There's 4 displays set up, and I'll speak about those in just a moment. 2 more questions for you. Here's the next one. Question 5. I am willing to work with the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador to build this province's first ever Open Government Action Plan. Number 1 is strongly agree, 2 is agree, 3 is neutral, 4 is disagree, and 5 is strongly disagree. So the vast majority strongly agree or agree that they're willing to work with us to build this plan, which is a good sign. It's very encouraging to see such a level of interest and willingness. For the final statement, choose your top 3 responses, 3 ways in which you would like to participate in the upcoming public engagement process. These are your preferred methods of providing input. Question 6, the best ways for me to participate in the Open Government Initiative public engagement process are through, number 1, social media. Number 2, that won't be you. No, that's correct. Number 2, other online methods, feedback forums, surveys. Number 3, meetings with organizations, stakeholder groups on focused topics. Number 4, open public meetings. Number 5, interactive dialogue workshops. Number 6, toll-free telephone number. Number 7, mailouts. Or number 8, other. And again, if you chose number 8, there's comment card collection boxes at the back, and please feel free to leave the cards in the room before you leave. We probably have some pens back there too, I hope. Again, we asked this last question to get an indication of the tools and approaches you prefer. Voting appears to be complete. And number 3 is among the most popular, meetings with organizations and stakeholder groups. And number 5, interactive dialogue workshops. And those are approaches that as a government we're very familiar with. And as people working in the public service, either elected officials or professional civil servants, those are approaches that we've used for a long time. The exciting part about the open government process that we're embarking upon is that we'll engage in new and innovative approaches as well, beyond the ones that people would traditionally expect us to use. So we fully expect that different audience types will make different choices about how they want to be engaged and the methods that they prefer. In keeping with our commitment to publicly share all input related to our Open Government Initiative in a timely manner, the results of today's questions and all comments received will be posted online on our Open Government webpage as early as this afternoon. People across the province can also now start providing feedback via email or by visiting www.open.gov.nl.ca, and the webpage is now live. From your input and feedback, specific actions will be developed. If suggestions come forward that can be implemented immediately, we will certainly do that where possible. More details on our public engagement plan, including upcoming opportunities to contribute, will be announced in the coming weeks. This Open Government Initiative is truly exciting. It's a new and innovative way for government to share, to listen, and to involve you. So a few questions I want to leave you with today. You don't need to vote on these ones. You just need to reflect on them. What can and should be done by government and others to ensure that the government of today and of the future meets the highest standard of openness possible in a modern democracy? What Open Government Action Plan ideas do you have, including long-term actions that will bring about attitude and institutional, cultural change, and short-term, practical, concrete actions that can be quickly acted upon? What can we do together to go beyond the status quo and invigorate democracy in Newfoundland and Labrador? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a work in progress. This is work that cannot be done simply by elected officials or by bureaucrats. It involves all of you. Here in this lobby, it involves all of you across Newfoundland and Labrador. So please, get involved and please have your say. As you can see, there are a number of stations at the back of the room where you can view the web pages and learn more about our 4 pillars of our open government initiative. Our staff team are available to answer any questions that you may have as well. As well, in a short while, the Premier and I will move to the House of Assembly area and take questions from the media without the voting keypads. I want to thank you for joining us. Have a great day, and I look forward to working with you on this initiative in the weeks and months ahead. Thank you.